Howdy again, my homies. It is James Finity here with Rewind Electric, and I'm back with a little bit more MXR phasing action. If you couldn't tell what these were from the back, MXR Script Phase 90, 1975. MXR Budbox Script Phase 90, 1974. And MXR Budbox Script Phase 45, 1974. So there was a previous video. I think I can go ahead and safely refer to it as previous because I'll try to post it first, that I just did, of the opening and my first impressions of the Phase 45. Very cool. So cool. I really like it. It's a great pedal. It's a little more subtle than these. And it inspired me to break these two guys out again. Partially because I've always liked both of these for different reasons. One sounds a little different than the other, and I honestly, I don't remember which is which. One of them, let me zoom out a little bit here. One of them I've described before as having a sawtooth LFO. So the LFO is the low frequency oscillator, which means, you know, lower than human hearing. So it's not like it's making a bass note or anything, but it's what causes the swirling sound to go up and down. So it goes woo, woo, woo. And if you see my finger, I just drew what's basically a sine wave. Okay. But one of them goes more like ooh, 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 and it falls really quick, so it's more like a sawtooth wave, which looks like a sawtooth. You know, it goes up and then it drops. It goes up, then it drops. It's probably not designed to do that. It's probably a flaw. It's probably a drifted component, or perhaps one of these trimmers not factory aligned. But it always, it has this feeling that it's always climbing, and it's kind of cool. I like that. Topo Chico. So anyway, yeah, I've always kind of liked that. So I thought I would break these out and see if maybe it was an adjustment, or at least identify which one of the pedals was the one that was doing that, so that I can take note of it. I don't know, like be more educated on the matter. So let's do that. Let's fire them up. Freshies for that guy. We can set the Phase 45 aside because we've already demoed that. My interest at the moment is in these two Phase 45 or Phase 90s. And we can also set the covers aside because I want to hear them. This one needs a new battery clip, so I want to hear them, and I want to service this one. I want to try to describe the differences in sound. All right, this one's the bud. I'm gonna try to notate that. So we'll call him put a little piece of tape on him, and we'll give him a name, and we'll call that guy Bundy, because that's the bud box. Normally my 3-year-old names pedals for me. He's unavailable at the moment, so you'll have to deal with my naming conventions, which are not as excellent as his. Oh no, there's another pedal battery in here. Okay, can we measure one more? 9.5. All right, we got a good one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to make more of these. All right, we're gonna do this guy. Let's see. If you zoom out, you'll see what I'm doing here. If I zoom out, you'll see what I'm doing here. So we're gonna go input, send, return, outputs. Yeah, just like that. Oh, yeah, we don't want to do that. Try and keep that from happening because that is a problem. Okay, that'll work. This guy needs power. Got that here. Okay. To the amp, and this one to the gate fiddle. And fire up the Princeton reverb. I need somebody to pick a voltage for the evening. Who wants to call the voltage? All right, how about you with the white beard and the baseball cap? 114.4 volts? You got it, sir. So 114.4 volts will be the magic voltage for the evening, which means it is the perfect voltage for this exact time and place in the universe for this amp right here tonight. The 1978 Princeton reverb. Alrighty. Oh yeah, we're not on 5, we're on 4. Okay, now here's where we have some fun. Let's hear the differences. Yeah, you hear the difference in the LFOs? This one's more consistent. This one, it's like, top of the amp are buzzing. Whoop. Let's go slow. A lot more bass on that, isn't there? Yeah, big differences. We could certainly plug in a Rat and hear some distorted sounds, but I think I'm showing these pretty well clean, the differences between them. One thing that I'd like to kind of get into here now, because I'm noticing that this is bassier, this is brighter, and the LFO is doing some different stuff. If you remember when I adjusted the trim pot on the MXR 45 Bud Box, in the previous video, that changed exactly those qualities, in that as I tilted the knob clockwise, it got brighter and the LFO became a little bit more even. As I took the knob to the left, counterclockwise, it became warmer and the LFO got a little bit more subtle and more, it's seemingly more pronounced on one side of the slope than the other. I could be wrong on that. But let's do that. Let's flip this guy over, because this is the one that I think is functioning outside the realm of factory setting. Oh man, these trim pots are that might be soldered in place. I'm gonna put my mark on it for what is now the pedal's upside down, so I like to put what's 12 noon. Okay, it's not time for the Sharpie to fail me. Okay. Now I don't know that I'll be able to adjust that. I'm going to put this under it, the circuit board, to protect it. Okay, if I can. Yeah, I would just like a little bit of extra backing to support it as I turn it, and also to keep anything from shorting. Don't know if I'll be able to turn this or not. It might be soldered in place. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit more pressure with this one. Sometimes they just pop, but I'm not going to go crazy. I'll give it even a little bit more pressure than that because I have two of them, but it's, yeah, it doesn't want to move. All right, well, guys, that's been a great video. Have a wonderful night. See you. Oh, all right. So I could get the solder sucker out and clean that off, and I guess that's what I'm going to do. But before we go through all that work, there's another option. I could adjust that one and see if it even does the thing that I'm hoping it will do, or curious if it will do. Let's turn this one and see what it does. There we go. Words are hard. Oh, shoot. There's another pedal video that already says that. Dang it. Speech is difficult. Yes, there we go. I don't think anyone's copyrighted that yet. Yeah, that was the shorting that I was trying to prevent. Good job, James. Good job. Probably has metal filings in it. I'm not doing anybody any favors with that. All right, now we gotta mark this one too. It's so hard to do this leaning over a bench with a guitar hanging around your neck. Boy, that is crusty. What is popping? Popping fresh is what it is. Something over here. I guess I should put a mark on it. I forgot to do that part. Okay. Yeah, it definitely gets brighter with the clockwise. I'd like to put a scope probe on here and watch that clock. Well, watch it change. Oh, actually, I don't know quite if that's how this works. I forgot that phasers do something different than how choruses and flangers do. do here is this. Little slot in that. There. I was hoping that was more completely isolated, especially if I put a piece of tape here. So come on, Bundy, work with me. Okay, I think that's the most intense setting I can get out of it, which is a hair above where it was factory. As I noticed, turning it, going to one side, the top, the brighter end of the LFO, the whoosh, that part, it hits harder. It goes further out into higher frequencies. But then as you go back the other way, once you pass a point, the lower end of the sweep dips deeper into the bass frequencies. So where I put it was, it's hitting the hardest this way and then falling back the farthest that way. I don't know that I like it there though. Let's go back to where it was. Maybe that'll be fine when I turn it down. Let's just try some lower setting there. Okay. All right. It's time to do the thing with the thing now. Who's ready to get quackers? It's time to break out the dog. All right. By the way, I like this. I'm happy with it. I'm very pleased with the sound. I'm ready to put it back. I'm going to take the battery out. So at that one setting where I was the one speed setting where I was uncertain if I really liked that sound so much, and I was thinking about dialing it back. That was a little bit more intense than I generally prefer, because I generally prefer more subtle sounds. But then as I moved the LFO, the speed knob on the front of the pedal, both up and down, it sounded more appropriate to me. And also, as I considered it, I have a Phase 45 now for the first time in my life today, just within hours. And that is a more subtle pedal than the 90. So the 90 suitably should have the more intense setting. That only makes sense. So I'm happy with that. Okay, and let's see. I made these cool little foam dealios before to sit behind. Is this how they were? This is how they were. Okay, it sits here. Although I think I should do the same little trick. Give that a slot. There we go. And that just sits there to protect it. Protects the switch too. Battery clips in. This one was on my Jimmy Page board. For a long time I had two boards, Jimmy and Jimmy. One with a Y, one with an I. You get it? The Jimmy and the Jimmy board. This one's going to be in the classic vintage pedals shootout now. And yeah, and I've got a piece of foam in here also. Having a little difficulty getting that on. My watch telling me it's time to stand. Thanks, Siri. I've been standing for hours. If you really loved me, you might tell me it was time to sit. Take a load off. Relax. Okay, so Bondi, you hang out over here with your buddy 45. Oh, I should call 45 Trump, the 45th president. Bondi and Trump. Could also call him Moses, as in Browning. Wait, is that his name? John Moses Browning? I believe it was. The father of the 45 cartridge. Okay. All right, let's unplug this. Let's unplug this. Oh, this needs a new battery clip, too. Let's do this first. Gonna plug in the duck. And we're going to go quackers. Uh-oh. Again, my apologies for any potential past, present, and future sniffles on this video. I'm feeling a bit congested. So, while that's warming up, let's see if I can get a close-up of what's going on here. So that trim pot, as you can see there, has been soldered in place. The actual mechanical moving part has been soldered. I guess they decided guys like me shouldn't be in here messing around with this. But me and the duck disagree. Not ready yet. Well, yeah, I'm out of words. Duck, yeah. Anybody hunt duck? I live in the edge of the Mojave Desert, like the eastern edge, which is in southwest Utah, like near Las Vegas and where Nevada and Arizona all meet, Utah. So, surprisingly, there's a lot of lakes here. I had no idea when I moved out here, but like boating and water skiing and fishing from a boat, you know, trolling. It's that's all very popular, as is duck hunting. Not too far from me, surprisingly. Pretty cool. I came from the East Coast where duck hunting is more common. Did not expect to find that out here in the desert, though. You know, I grew up near the shore of Maryland, and not on the eastern shore, not that much near the shore. But I would have thought I never wanted a boat my whole life until moving here. This actually seems like the most realistic place to have a boat in the desert, strangely. Yeah, there we go. Now, is it gonna stay movable? I think that's all it needed, but I'm gonna see if I can get a little more of this. Okay. All right. Let's put the duck into. Well, I don't actually have anywhere good to put the duck. All right. Let's let the duck sit right here. On top of these fine rewind electric vintage PAF covers. We're not going to get any less aged with that sitting on them. No harm there, right? Okay, I'll put this back together and give it a whirl and hope that we didn't just fricassee a duck. Okay, we don't need the switcher anymore. Well, yeah, we might want it again. Okay, send. The input is now, oh yeah, we're looking at this upside down, so the input's still there. All right, I'll get the guitar, but I just want to make sure we're all still, I'm going to use the longer lead. Give myself a little more slack. Not that I deserve any slack at all for these terrible videos I make. Okay. I just want to make sure we're still all phasey-wazy before I go grab the SG again. And, oh yeah, we're phasing. Do you guys think that the dots on Gibsons, when you get a Gibson with dots at the 12th fret, being so wide look really weird. It's just strange. Okay, we're phasing. Now, I had a little plastic tweaker sitting out here somewhere. I don't know where it went. I guess we'll just use the metal one and say whatever. Oh, here it is. Brighter this way. Oh no. Did it solder itself back in place? Okay, no, we're good. I just... I'm going to turn this speed up a little bit so we can have a more pronounced effect. Okay, that's too fast. Probably about like that. Yeah, so it kind of favors one side of the LFO or the other if you go past or behind the mark of where it was factory. But I'm noticing that factory setting was not at the peak of both. It wasn't at the ultimate balance between the two. Neither was the other. And maybe it was when they built this 50 whatever years ago, but things drift. Oh, I kind of like that. That's where it was. I like that. That's about the most intense. Very subtle. Like, is it off? No, it's still phasing, is it? This one goes very slow. It's pretty cool, actually. I'm happy with the sound. Let's stop monkeying around with it. I'm not going to put any solder back on it though. Interestingly, where I ended up putting that setting is very close to where it was, but don't take that to mean too much because it was extremely sensitive. It's a hair one way or the other made a pretty big difference at times, and so it is a hair off of what it was, and that's really all it took to be significantly different in this case. So I'm going to shut down the Princeton reverb. I'm going to take the battery out of this, and we're going to replace that battery clip, which I just put some heat shrink on previously because it was obviously a mess. All right, and you know, it's weird. It really wants a side exiting one, even though that wasn't factory. It should have. good one. Battery clips. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. It's got a nice selection in this bag. There we go. Black side exiting battery clips. Or like wide side exiting, I guess you would say. You know, these leads coming off of this point rather than coming off that way, which is how the factory ones are. It's just that look what they have to do. The clip has to make this like really sharp right turn there. It's not good for it. It's probably why the things fail. I'm always playing the same stuff. I'm sorry, guys. It's because I'm playing originals, and I've only, I only write so much, mostly on the spot. Okay, let's get this one on first because that looks tricky. Oh, dang it! I gotta break the duck out again. Actually, I guess I don't. It's just kind of laying on there. So I'm going to do it the same way it came off. I don't really want to heat the duck up again because then I got to let it cool again. Okay, so it's just sitting there on that power rail, I see. Well, no, I got to heat the duck up because the other one's going to require it. So we're going to heat the duck up. In the meantime, have a sip of some Topo Chico. Now, I've seen this written lots of different ways. It's really funny, like Topio Chico and Topo Chico. This is Chico. Actually, on the bottle it says Chico. Maybe we'll name this guy Chico. How's that? How do you like that for a name? You want to be called Chico? Actually, I should call him Cheeto, as orange as he is. Chico the Cheeto. Do you guys remember when I got into the Quartermaster and fixed the SMDs? Yeah, no you don't, because I didn't publish that video, because it did not work out in the end. Oh, dang it, I've not plugged in the duck and I'm sitting here waiting for it to heat up. Yeah, I had another one prior to this, and it had a failed component, and I found a replacement for that failed component, and I installed it, and I got it connected, which was extremely difficult. I had to file away some of the epoxy on the chip and make the internal gold contacts meet the traces on the board, and I did that, and then learned that it was that SMD chip was something that needed to be programmed, and without that program, the thing was dead in the water no matter what. And I don't have that program. It's something Gig Rig would have had when they made those, but they stopped making them. At that point, I just tossed it and bought another. It wasn't worth it. I had bought that one used, cheap, not realizing it had a problem. But, I did get a deal on it. It wasn't a good enough deal since it went in the trash, apparently. But it was the deal I asked for, so that's on me. Okay. I guess that's all we get is that pad, and we just solder right to it like this, huh? I'm gonna come in from this way. Oh, to have solder on hand. And a poking device to hold it down. Yikes! Did you guys just see that? I soldered it to the screwdriver, which doesn't usually happen because it's... And it lifted that trace. Okay, the trace is not entirely broken. Yet. Let's salvage this. Why is it soldering it to my driver? What the heck? Like, this is made out of material that normally that can't happen to. Okay, this is made out of stainless steel. It won't solder to that. Boy, oh boy. Times we live in, right? Okay. All right, I reflowed that trace. Should be all good as gravy now. I didn't even have to use this, but that was terrifying for a second. Started lifting that pad up. Okay, let's get this the heck out of here. Now I'll get this one. Look at that. Make a little hook under this. Hook it around here. And then lock it down. And then solder it. Okay. Now, at the factory, they did a thing with this where it was twisted around, so I'm going to copy that. Because it's probably good for a little strain relief to have it a little bit twisted around. That bundle of wires there. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, and I made this little doodad to protect the board like this. And that's just going to protect the board from shorting against the pot or the jacks. Okay, let's get the battery in there. See how that sits nicely now? I thought I had a little piece for that battery to sit snug in there. I could use this. There we go. It just provides a little support for the battery so that it's not bouncing around at all. Doesn't have the room to it. I can turn the duck off now and unplug him for real, I think. And then, indeed, I had one more piece of protection, which was that layer. Just like that. Okay. I'm gonna put the back of the box on. And let's be hopeful that it still works. More sniffles. All right, Chico, let's go. The amp's got to come back up. The duck is still hot, so we're going to leave that there to be hot. Get this guy going again. Bundy and Chico. In fact, just gonna give his name tag right now. There you go. All right, let's listen to it one more time, and then we're done. Sync with each other, but if I take it up all the way. Oh, that one's quieter. Slow. just stopped. Back. There it is. I think it goes so slow, it just seems like it stops. This definitely has a much wider range of speed than this one. We can say this goes nearly to DC or off. Up here. And on this one, now this one feels like it's about there, probably. Interesting. So this one maybe is more intense when it's at that same speed. I wonder if this knob is also intensity in addition to speed. Probably. It could be. It could be tied together. I feel like this one might work like more correctly, but this one might be cooler. Although I don't know if it's supposed to go like as fast as this one and as slow as this one, or if it's supposed to go as fast as this one and as slow as this one. This doesn't go go as slow or as fast as that. Okay, I don't know. We got some stuff recorded there. We got some different sounds. We know what they do. We've got them both dialed in to be the best that they can be. Both Chico is the best Chico and Bundy is the best Bundy. So what more can I do? I mean, fresh new batteries. They're both dialed in. New battery clip. They've got their protective foam installed so that they can last a nice long time. And yeah, I think I guess we're good to move on with life at this point. They're uniquely different, uniquely cool. It would be hard for me to pick a favorite, but I'd be interested to hear what your favorite is. Which one do you think should be included in the classic vintage phaser shootout as well? I don't really want to have both of them in. Trying to thin that out. So that's the question. Could you guys help me with that? Honestly, like I'm doing this classic vintage phaser shootout. If you're not familiar, I've got a Korean Ross, a USA Ross, the Maestro phase shifter, the Roland AP1 phase shifter, the Boss BF2, I think it's called, the green two-knob phase shifter. Electro-Harmonix Badstone. We went through several of those to pick one. Electro-Harmonix Smallstone. We went through several of those to pick those. Now, I think in that case, I'm still going to keep a V1 and a V2 Smallstone because they are uniquely different from each other. What else? I don't know. There might even be another one that I'm overlooking. But in any case, which one of these do you think is the most classic sounding as far as represents, you know, the original, the best, or the sound that you hear on like Zeppelin recordings or whatever, the best? Chico or Bundy? You guys let me know which one you want to see included in the shootout, because they're too similar to have both. So we have to pick one. They're both cool. It doesn't mean one's better than the other, but which one is the one to go into the shootout and battle against the rest of the other phasers out there, including the Phase 45, which I failed to mention because I just got this hours ago. Yeah, cool. All right, please dislike and unsubscribe, or else you're going to just end up with more of this garbage in your feed. And come on, let's be serious. You'd rather watch something good, right? All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night. See ya.